Wow, you really weren't kidding. When you said things in the AI world were getting interesting, this DeepSeek stuff is
Mm.
pretty intense. I
Yeah.
mean, everyone's talking about this Sputnik moment. Have you heard that term before?
Yeah, it's a powerful analogy. What's so fascinating is how this newcomer in the AI field, DeepSeek, is being compared to the launch of Sputnik back in 1957.
Okay, so before we get lost in space metaphors, let's maybe zoom in on what exactly we're deep diving into today. You sent in a ton
Yeah.
about this DeepSeek
Hmm.
and this chaos they've caused. From Silicon Valley to Wall Street, everyone's trying to figure out
Yeah.
what just hit them.
That's a great way to put it. Imagine waking up one morning and finding a really powerful new AI tool, totally free, right there in your app store. That's basically what happened when DeepSeek launched their AI in January 2025.
So it's not just that they created a powerful AI, it's that they just released it for
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
It's got to be shaking things up.
Absolutely. Companies like Nvidia, Microsoft, Google, they've all invested heavily in AI development. But DeepSeek's approach has been incredibly cost-effective. Their lean model, combined with that free release, sent shockwaves through the market. I mean, Nvidia's shares dropped a staggering 15.5% in a single day.
Yeah, I saw that. That's not just a dip. That's like falling off a cliff. So how is DeepSeek pulling this off? What's their secret?
Well, that's where this Sputnik moment comparison comes in. Just like Sputnik challenged assumptions about technological leadership, DeepSeek is forcing everyone to rethink how AI can be developed, and crucially, who can develop it.
Right, because we're not just talking about some small startup iterating on an existing idea. This is a fundamental shift in how we understand AI development. DeepSeek reportedly spent a mere $6 million to build their AI, while companies like OpenAI, which is a $500 billion joint venture, are pouring billions into their projects.
It's a classic David versus Goliath situation. And what makes it even more intriguing is that DeepSeek is a Chinese company embracing open source development. Meanwhile, many companies in the West, historically associated with openness and innovation, are becoming increasingly protective of their AI
It's
technologies.
a really interesting point. You'd almost expect it to be the other way around. So who is this mastermind behind all of this? The article that you sent mentioned Liang Weifeng.
Liang is an intriguing figure. He's a former stock market whiz kid, incredibly successful, who later turned his attention to AI. What's fascinating is that he doesn't seem to be motivated by profits. He claims DeepSeek is driven by scientific curiosity, almost like a hobby project.
A hobby? Hold on. The same guy who entrusted his $8 billion investment fund entirely to AI algorithms back in 2021.
Yeah.
And now he's casually disrupting the entire AI landscape as a side project.
It's a different way of thinking about ambition and innovation, that's for sure. And it's not just his own approach that's unconventional, it's also how he built his team.
Yeah, I read about that. Instead of recruiting industry veterans with tons of experience, he went after fresh PhD grads, basically giving a group of young, bright minds the chance to tackle some of the biggest challenges in AI.
It's a bold move. Traditional tech culture often prioritizes experience over raw talent, but Liang seems to be betting on a different approach, and so far it seems to be working.
Okay, let's track their progress. They started in November 2023 by open sourcing their code, which was already a pretty big deal. And then in January 2025, boom, they released their R1 model.
What's impressive about the R1 model is its focus on logic and reasoning. They managed to release this model just 49 days after OpenAI, exceeding expectations, and consistently delivering impressive results, all while operating with comparatively limited resources.
So if we're thinking of the AI landscape like a soccer field, you've got these established superstars like GPT-4, let's call that one messy. And then you got fierce competitors like Claude 3.5, maybe that's our Ronaldo. And then suddenly DeepSeek comes out of nowhere, disrupts the game, and changes everyone's strategy. They're the young, agile player that no one saw coming.
It's a great analogy, and the implications go far beyond the world of tech. This isn't just about who has the best AI, it's about global leadership in a field that's rapidly changing everything, especially with the U.S. imposing restrictions on AI chip sales to China. The stakes are incredibly high.
It makes you wonder if these restrictions might actually backfire,
Mm.
pushing China to innovate even faster.
That's certainly a possibility. Remember what happened with Huawei when they were cut off from American technology? They responded by developing their own chips and software, becoming even more competitive.
So DeepSeek could potentially be on a similar trajectory, turning obstacles into opportunities. It's a fascinating underdog story. But I'm guessing it's not all smooth sailing. The articles that you sent also mention some concerns about their rapid rise.
That's right. Some users have pointed out inconsistencies in DeepSeek's behavior. For instance, there have been reports that the V3 model when asked to identify itself, actually responded as though it were ChatGPT.
Wait, really? So there are questions about whether they're genuinely developing their own AI? Or if they're somehow leveraging existing models?
Exactly. This raises questions about the originality of their technology and whether they might be building on the work of others, perhaps even using ChatGPT's output.
As training data.
That would certainly explain their speed. But it also raises some ethical concerns. What about their performance? You mentioned earlier that DeepSeek's exceeding expectations. But are those claims accurate? Well, that's another point of contention. Some members of the online tech community have expressed doubts about the validity of DeepSeek's self-reported benchmark results, particularly in areas like complex mathematical calculations.
So there's skepticism about whether they're truly as advanced as they claim to be. And then there's the big question of data security. Anytime a new tech company emerges, especially one with ties to a government like China's, people worry about how their data might be used.
Those concerns are understandable. However, it's important to remember that data, privacy, and security are issues we should be considering with all AI models, not just those developed in China. No AI system is inherently immune to misuse or bias.
It's like we need to approach all AI development with a healthy dose of skepticism and critical thinking, regardless of where it originates.
I completely agree. Asking tough questions and demanding transparency.
Yeah.
It should be the norm, not the exception.
Speaking of tough questions, we can't ignore the issue of censorship. The articles that you sent clearly state that DeepSeek does censor content that is sensitive to the Chinese government. How should we think about that in the context of this global AI race?
It's a complex issue. While DeepSeek's censorship policies are influenced by the Chinese government, it's important to recognize that all AI models reflect the values and biases of their creators. Western AI models are not exempt from this. They often prioritize Western perspectives and may censor content deemed inappropriate by their developers, even if it doesn't align with government mandates.
So it's not a black and white issue. Every AI model comes with its own set of limitations and reflects the cultural context in which it was created.
Exactly. The key is to be aware of these biases and to understand how they might influence the AI's output.
Okay, so let's shift gears for a moment and talk about DeepSeek's open source approach. This seems to be one of their biggest differentiators and a major factor in their rapid progress.
The open source aspect is significant for several reasons. It allows for greater transparency, enabling anyone to examine their code and understand how their AI works. It fosters collaboration, allowing developers worldwide to contribute to the project and accelerate its development. And it offers a level of customization that closed systems simply can't match.
And here's where it gets really cool for you, our listener. Because DeepSeek is open source, you can actually download and run smaller versions of their models on your own computer.
That's a huge advantage in terms of data privacy. You're no longer reliant on a third-party cloud service to process your data, giving you more control over your information.
So not only is DeepSeek disrupting the market with its performance and development model, but they're also offering a level of accessibility and control. It's pretty groundbreaking. How is all of this impacting the AI market as a whole?
We're seeing a significant market realignment. The initial stock plunges experienced by companies like Nvidia and Microsoft might not be temporary dips. They could indicate a fundamental shift in how the market values AI companies. Cost effectiveness and efficient resource utilization are now crucial factors.
So it's not just about throwing billions of dollars at the problem anymore. DeepSeek has demonstrated that you can achieve incredible results with a leaner, more agile approach. It seems like DeepSeek is totally rewriting the rules of the game. They've shown that agility and a focus on efficiency can be just as powerful as massive investments. It makes you wonder, what does this mean for the future of AI development?
That's the big question, isn't it? DeepSeek has thrown down a gauntlet, and it's going to be fascinating to see how other companies and even governments respond to this challenge.
The race is on.
Yeah.
And the stakes are higher than ever. We're not just talking about who has the fastest AI or the most impressive benchmarks. We're talking about shaping the future of a technology that has the potential to transform every aspect of our lives.
Think about the impact AI could have on healthcare, education, finance, even governance. It's a powerful tool with incredible potential. But it also comes with risks that we need to be mindful of.
That brings us back to something you said earlier about the importance of skepticism and critical thinking. This isn't just a spectator sport. We all have a role to play in ensuring that AI is developed and used responsibly.
Exactly. We need to engage in informed discussions, ask tough questions, and demand transparency from the companies and governments developing these technologies.
So what does this all mean? For you, our listener, this deep dive has given you a glimpse into the rapidly evolving world of AI, and specifically the impact DeepSeek is having. But this is just the beginning. What happens next is still being written.
The key takeaway is that the AI landscape is dynamic and unpredictable. DeepSeek's emergence has shown us that assumptions can be overturned, and new players can emerge, seemingly overnight. It's a reminder to stay informed, stay curious, and stay engaged.
Don't just accept the hype or the fear-mongering. Do your own research. Think critically, and form your own opinions. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one to develop the next groundbreaking AI.
The future of AI is full of possibilities, and it's going to be an exciting journey to follow.
Absolutely, so keep exploring, keep learning, and stay tuned, because we'll be right here with you, diving deep into the most fascinating developments in the world of AI.